Good afternoon, everybody. This is Gardening Warrior Q, and this is my balcony. Those are all potatoes in the cereal bags. That's a potato in a 10-pound bag. That's a potato in an 8-pound grow bag. There's another 8-pound grow bag down there. There's 3 pine cones. That's an experiment. It's going pretty good. That's trash because I've been cleaning. This is a compost in place bin. That is a compost in place bin that I put some processed compost in. Same thing with that and that. So, what am I showing you here? Well, that on top is unfinished compost. That right there is mostly finished compost. I mixed the stuff that was still not processed into the soil. So that's, nice and rich. Look at that. Good stuff. That is going to be my lettuce patch probably this year. I'm still debating. I'm still, trying to figure it out. That's my compost juice, my compost tea. I got it on drain. I got it on a drip system there. And I apparently kicked it out of the way here. There we go. Because you don't want that stuff down there. Because somebody came out here. A little brown dog came out here and shuffled it around and moved the bucket, and I woke up yesterday to that. Yeah, we won't go there. I actually have another compost bin. This is what I call my resting compost. And the reason it's resting is because in there somewhere is Tiny, the Russian spy. It was actually a mini Russian hamster. And he went to greener pastures, shall we say. And the last time I said something, YouTube blocked me for saying that my daughter's pet hamster had passed. Yeah, so we won't go there. As you can tell, I put some of my wet compost items on there. And now it's time to shuffle that bad boy around. Because I just realized that the drainage holes are not draining. So that means that's super wet and it's going to go anaerobic, and we don't want that. So I got to get on that. And it's going to get ugly, my friends. It's going to be real ugly. So let me pause you, and I'll bring you right back. All right. So I took the top bucket off. And the top layer of this bucket. And I found the watermelon and the remnants of other stuff down there. Now, none of these have holes. Well, this one does because it's cracked. But this one right here does not have holes in it yet. This one does. And I'm about to empty that into there. And I should have brought a gas mask. Alright, so I got the first layer off. A lot of it's mostly processed under there, so that's good. I didn't find any, we didn't find my little Russian friend, let's just put it that way. So he passed this January 1st, made a year. So he's been sitting in there for a year in unprocessed compost. Just with, stuff that like weeds and grass and everything that I dug up after I tore apart my garden last year. So he's apparently processed, shall we say. And now we're getting into the second layer. However, this bin right here, because there was so much juice in it from the watermelon and everything, I'm mixing this in really good to make sure that that soil gets down into the juices. And I'm just using my shovel, going to the bottom and pulling it up. Just like you would turn a compost pile, pretty much, is what I'm doing. See, it's still kind of juicy down there. I hope y'all aren't eating. Because if you are, you probably won't be soon. But I'm just taking that soil, pulling up the stuff on the bottom, and mixing it all in there. Just like so. Oh yeah. Be glad y'all don't have smell-o-vision, my friends. It actually isn't as bad as I thought it would be. And it was bubbling. The juices were bubbling, so that's good. That means it has not gone anaerobic. There's still life in there. So, I am now down further into the bucket. Look at that beautifulness. I found another bucket. The compost. And it needs some dirt. Do you see it? Those are worm cocoons. I have hit the mother lode, my friends. And yes, I am putting them in there because I compost with worms. And I grow in buckets with worms. It's just what I like to do. So yeah, those cocoons are going to go in there. And they're going to hatch. And probably, judging by the size of them, probably about a week. And they'll have worms in my bucket, which is awesome. It makes me happy. It's starting to rain. That just figures. Anyways, I'm going to keep on working because I am under a covered balcony. But if it gets too crazy, I'm going to have to close this out. But I found another bucket. Actually, I found 3 more buckets. And most of my compost in the bin now is completely carbon. That's all it is. So we're going to start working on this bin here and emptying that, which is full of green stuff, into these buckets. Now you see I have some paper plates ripped up. That's perfectly okay. They'll disintegrate. It's all good. Okay, so I found a super sloppy wet layer down there. So what I'm doing, and why I always keep dry stuff around, is I'm taking the dry soil and putting it down in here. And I am actually turning the compost as I'm doing this. I've taken 2 or 3 shovels full and put them in here, which I'm hoping does not fall because that would be a catastrophe. And I'm going to, after I get this full, I'm going to move back to this bin and add some to that. But right now I've got a cooler in there that is, I'm not sure what's in it. I'm kind of afraid to look, to tell you the truth. And this is why it is so important, if your compost is not on the ground, like of course mine's not, it's on concrete, that you have proper drainage. Obviously, I do have to get a drill this week. That will allow me to make big holes in this. And I'm going to get some PVC pipe to put in there, and that way I don't waste or make a mess. of my compost juice, my compost tea. So that will have to be later this week, probably another video. And for right now, the rain has stopped, but it's really cold out here. So I'm going to go in and warm up. I hope this helps somebody. Be sure, one, like I said, compost. But you need to make sure that your compost is properly drained, preferably into something so you can catch all that good stuff. I mean, because that's really good nutrient-rich stuff there. And if you don't have a, if you're up in the air like I am, make sure you have some dry soil to mix in case you find out that your bin is not draining properly. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one, when the saga shall continue.